Now, this is the most important video I have recorded and put on YouTube. Not watching this video in entirety would be very costly to your success as an entrepreneur and your financial future in creating what you want the most for you and your family. Now, what I reveal in this video is the single biggest reason behind why I see people fail as entrepreneurs, and mastering this is the secret to why people crush it in their business and go on to build their dream life.
Welcome to the Zero to Profitable Franchise Podcast, the best place for you to come to figure out the right franchise to buy and how to get and stay profitable. My name is Tariq Johnson, and I've bought, grown, and sold multiple franchises and got myself free from corporate America, and now I'm on a mission to help you do that too. Here you'll find some of the most in-depth profitable franchise secrets, tangible strategies, and specific mindsets to help you create your dream life through franchising.
Now, whether you already own a business or are still trying to become an entrepreneur, or you just want to explode your business and financial results to an entirely new level, this video will provide you the jolt that you have been looking for. Now, before I hit play on this video for you, I need to tell you an important story first. So I started wrestling in the 6th grade after trying out for the basketball team and not making it. I was devastated. I loved basketball. But the truth was, I wasn't a good enough player to play competitively. And so to my uncle's suggestion, I started wrestling. And I was equally as bad at wrestling as I was in basketball, if not worse. So fast forward 2 years later, I saw these other kids winning in tournaments, dominating their competition. And that planted the seed in my mind that one day I wanted to be like those kids. So I committed to joining a club wrestling team. I told my dad, I want to be like those guys. I want to get serious. And he said, all right, I got you. And over the next few years, my dad shuttled me around the United States, all over the country, waking up at 3 a.m. on the weekends to drive 2, 3, 4 hours to go to a wrestling tournament for the weekend. Staying in hotels, paying for wrestling camps. My father dedicated and sacrificed so much for me to be able to accomplish a dream of mine, and I am forever grateful to him for that. Now, despite me learning technique after technique, practicing all summer long for my club team, missing out on all kinds of fun outings and adventures with my friends in high school, well, just a few years later, having made the varsity team my freshman and sophomore years in high school, I was still just an average performer. I would end the season with about a 500 record. Maybe a few more wins, like 25 wins, 22 losses, something like that. Now, part of the reason I was still losing and not having the dominating success that I wanted so badly is exactly what I'm going to reveal in this video today. And it will 100% determine whether you succeed and live your dreams as an entrepreneur or not. Now, if you aren't able to make it to the end of this video or audio, if you're listening to the audio podcast, then this is exactly part of the reason why you'll never have the success that you want. So I challenge you to listen to this in its entirety. Now, coming out of my sophomore year of high school, I felt more frustrated and angry than ever. I was working harder, training harder, more consistently all year round. But for some reason, my teammates who were putting in half of the effort were still performing better than me. I didn't understand. Like, have you ever seen someone successful as an entrepreneur, maybe a friend or a family member, and you think, but I'm so much smarter than them, or I have so much more experience. I don't understand how they became so successful. Keep listening. I'll tell you why. So fast forward to my junior year. It was the first tournament of the year. I'd cut about 15 pounds to make weight, and I was determined to make it worth it. We had a 2-day tournament, and I would wrestle 8 matches. And that tournament was a defining moment for my wrestling career, and a moment that would shape the rest of my life and my business career as well. I wrestled a guy that had beaten me twice the year before. But because of what I'm going to share in this video in a moment, I was very different that year. to make a long story longer, in that first tournament of my junior year, I dominated that kid. There's something in wrestling called a tech fall. It's basically a slaughter rule. If you're winning by 15 points or more, the ref stops the match. It's over. In that first tournament of my junior year, I tech falled that kid. The kid that beat me twice the year before, I tossed him around like he was a rag doll. I went on to beat a kid ranked number 3 in the state and went 8-0 that weekend. 8 wins, 0 losses, and won the most outstanding wrestler of the tournament. I then went on a 16-match win streak, getting my record to 24-0, 24 wins, 0 losses, before my first overtime loss to a highly ranked kid. I then finished the season 47-5. 47 wins and 5 losses. So what changed? It would be a really good guess and assumption to think that it was just the years of practice catching up to me. Wrong. Because I knew guys that were wrestling since they were 5 years old, all year round, and they still weren't really that good, just average performers. What changed is what I'm going to reveal in this video in just a moment. This video is a sneak peek into one of the modules in my Zero to Franchise program that all of my coaching clients get access to as a part of our work together. After this video is over, I'll come back on and explain exactly what I did leading up to my junior year to trigger the life-changing performance of my junior year and beyond in wrestling. And in my senior year, I duplicated that success and I went 49-4 and was the district champ, regional champ, and took 5th in the states. There was something very specific that I did to do this, so make sure you stay until the end. All right, welcome back to Zero to Franchise. You are in the strategy and mindset module, so let's jump in. So where you guys should be right now, you should have watched the orientation training. You should have requested access to the private Facebook community for Zero to Franchise. And you should have the weekly calls into your calendar and registered for those. So here's what we're going to cover in this module. The importance of mentally preparing yourself for this program and your life-changing decision to buy a franchise. The difference between strategy and mindset and why a good strategy is useless without a strong mindset. And the 7 mindset shifts you need to adopt. And then the 10 secret phrases to build a rock-solid mindset that helps program you for the success that you want. So to recap, here is the strategy that we discussed in the orientation. First is to get clear. Clarity is power. Get crystal clear on what your destination is so you can locate and build a profitable franchise with ease and clarity. 2, select your business. So you're going to select a franchise that aligns with your skill sets and market domain in your area, so you can reach profitability fast and with ease. And then get it profitable ASAP. You want to leverage the profitable franchise formula to eliminate guesswork and use a proven system to generate profit so that you can replace your income. Strategy is incredibly important. The right or wrong strategy can be the difference between success and failure in business. My mentor, Tony Robbins, used to say, it doesn't matter how motivated and excited you are, you can't run east looking for a sunset. All right, if you didn't get it, that's okay. The sun actually sets in the west. Now, let's say you are in a fast car, going 90 miles per hour, racing down the highway, blasting your music, having a great time. Well, if you're going east and you should have been going west, you actually wind up farther away from your destination than when you started. So having the right strategy is important. Here's the great news. You now have it. You are getting the strategy that you need to find and buy a profitable franchise in this program. The strategies work. They will get you going in the right direction and even help you avoid traffic jams, accidents, and will show you some shortcuts that you didn't even realize were out there. So now that we are clear strategy is massively important, it's only 20% of your success. Your success in finding and building a profitable franchise is 80% psychology, mindset, and 20% strategy. Huh? What do I mean by that? Here's an example. What's an area of your life right now that you want to improve and you know exactly what you need to do, well, what's stopping you? If you want to get in great shape, you already know that you need to eat healthy and hit the gym, right? Be very direct with you. The strategy and tactics mean nothing if you aren't mentally prepared to implement them. If all it took to be successful and own a profitable franchise business was to know what to do, wouldn't everyone who wanted to own a profitable franchise? And even if you didn't know what to do, you could find the answers pretty easily, right? So, Brett Favre, Super Bowl champion, most talented players don't always succeed. Some don't even make the team. It's more what's inside. Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And then Muhammad Ali, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. So let's be honest. You can find the strategy you need within 60 seconds, maybe less. You can just Google search how to and then fill in the blank. Within 60 seconds, you'll find books and podcasts and YouTube videos and articles and interviews, etc. So the strategy is just a few clicks away. Are you with me? The how to can be in front of you as quickly as you type it into your browser. Order a book, read an article, or watch a video. So if the strategy is so easy to find, then why is it so hard to actually make significant life-improving changes in our life? AKA, buy a franchise. It's your psychology, also known as your mindset. So your success starts in your mind. That's why it's the first thing we're going to talk about in this program. I've generated millions of dollars of revenue in my franchise businesses and multi-six figures in my online businesses. I can clearly and definitively tell you that it would not have been possible if I didn't actively work on my mindset every single day. So, Bruce Lee, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. The reality is, most of you watching this program have already been very successful in your career. You wouldn't be in this program if you weren't. I have a minimum net worth requirement to be in here. Here's the thing, though. It's different succeeding in the corporate world versus the entrepreneur world. It's different when the decision you make doesn't involve your life savings. It's different when the $1 million budget that you're spending is money that is a small fraction of the overall company. All of a sudden, when it's all on you, when there's no one else to point the finger at, and when the decision you make could take years to recover from, it's a totally different experience. I've seen it many times. I've talked to CEOs, presidents of companies, and high-level executives that are terrified to pull the trigger on a franchise for themselves. Firstly, I want you to know that it's normal. And quite honestly, it's good to be scared. You can use the fear to your advantage. That's what I did. I was absolutely terrified after we signed our franchise agreement. My wife hit her terror barrier right before we signed our franchise agreement as well. She didn't want to do it. It just made her too nervous. I wound up persuading her otherwise. But that fear almost resulted in us never buying a franchise. Think about that for a second. I'd probably still be working as a financial advisor. I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel, and I definitely would not have created this program. So make the decision now to not let fear stop you during this process. Here's what your mindset controls: procrastinating. You know you should do it now, but you wait until tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it's 3 months later and nothing has changed. Or you don't follow through. You start a workout program, a diet, a financial plan, halfway in, you just stop. Lack of consistency. One day you do some work, the next day you don't, then you don't again for a week, and then you do some more a month from now. Fear of failure. You're so fearful of the what if that even though you know you should or you need to, you don't. And then indecision. Because of all of the above, you just avoid making hard decisions because you are scared of making a mistake, and then the opportunity passes you by. Do you see how mindset is the 80% part of actually accomplishing your goal of building a profitable franchise? Those are just a few of the mindsets that hold people back. And on the next page are some more. So limiting beliefs, negative imagination, which is constantly believing it won't work or picturing the negative scenario or outcome, not knowing how to fund your business, feeling overwhelmed, feeling confused, wanting to give up and just questioning just getting a different job. Why am I sharing all of this with you? What's the point? Well, it's because I can give you the best strategy in the world. If you don't take action and implement it consistently, even when it's scary, then nothing will change, period. The profitable franchise formula in this program is the strategy. Mindset is what held me back from starting a YouTube channel for 11 freaking years. 11 years. There is a cost to that. I missed out on a lot of opportunity. Can you relate? I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity, guys. Look, the first step is awareness. Once you are aware of what your mindset patterns have been, you can consciously choose to operate differently. You are in this program for a reason. We will help support you with mindset all throughout this process. We got your back. So here are the foundational mindsets for you to internalize as you create your profitable franchise business. Mindset to adopt is, I made an investment in this program, and I intend to give my best at all times, even when I'm tired, scared, overwhelmed, or just frustrated. I will keep showing up and making progress. I agree to take full responsibility for myself and my actions and accept the challenge of becoming a thriving entrepreneur. I agree to face the negative beliefs I've created in my life and replace them with the positive and productive scripts of thriving entrepreneurs. And I understand that I will make mistakes and I will fail, but I will always learn from them and continue moving forward towards my goals. And I agree to trust the zero to franchise system and follow it. I will not quit when things get challenging. I realize that thriving entrepreneurs take action even when life gets hard. I will honor my commitment to complete this strategically designed course and find my ideal franchise, replace my income, fire my boss, and become a thriving entrepreneur. Our brain is like a cybernetic mechanism. A cybernetic mechanism is a mechanism in both man and machines that determines and measures the deviation between a set point and a goal. An example is a target-seeking missile. The missile is constantly making adjustments in order to land at its target, even when the target is moving. In simple terms, our beliefs are our target and your actions are the missile. Therefore, you will always take or not take action that is congruent with your current belief system. So let me explain this in a more applicable manner. What happens if your overriding belief you have right now is buying a franchise is really hard. There are so many out there. It's also confusing, and it's going to be really difficult to find the one I want and that I can make money in. And to cap it all off, I have no entrepreneurial experience. Well, if we have this belief, and this is what is constantly spinning around in our mind, consciously or even unconsciously, is this an empowering belief or an unempowering belief? It's an unempowering belief. Exactly. So with this unempowering belief, are we going to tap into more or less of our potential on a daily basis when we're looking at and thinking about the process of buying a franchise and quitting our job? Less potential. Yes. So are we feeling confident, excited, committed? No. Do we feel super committed in this state no matter what the obstacle seems like? Of course not. Of course not. So if we're tapping less potential, feeling less motivated, less confident, and not really committed, all because of this belief that's continuing to repeat itself in your mind, are we going to take more or less action on a daily basis? Less action. And will our action be consistent? Heck no. We'll do some here and there, wait a week and then do more, or we start and never do anything to follow up. Then if we were a little consistent, are we really going to take big, bold, decisive actions? Nope. We're just tiptoeing around, never stepping up to the plate, taking a big, confident, aggressive swing. So if we're taking less action and we aren't consistent, and when we do take action, we really aren't putting our best foot forward, will we be getting the amazing, exciting results that we are looking for? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. And then we say, see, I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it was really hard to find a franchise. I knew it was confusing. I knew I wouldn't find the right franchise. I might as well just find another job because I believe I can do that. And this cycle is exactly why the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. Now, let's say you consciously shifted your belief to, I truly believe I can succeed, because if other people who are in my situation can do it, then the reality is that I can do it too. And it's possible to find a business that lowers my risk and actually puts me in a higher probability situation to succeed. I'm not saying it's easy, but it'll be worth it. Now, this new belief, is it empowering? Absolutely. So with this new empowering belief, we are going to tap into more or less of our potential on a daily basis when we're looking at and thinking about the process of buying a franchise and quitting our job. More potential, yes. We have a feeling of excitement, positive expectation, and we are feeling motivated. So do we feel super committed in this state no matter what the obstacles seem like? Oh yeah. In our mind, we're thinking, I'm 100% making this happen and no one is going to stop me. It's time. So if we are tapping into more potential, we feel more motivated, more confident, and incredibly committed, all because of this new belief, then are we going to take more or less action on a daily basis? More action. And will our action be consistent? Oh yeah, we are possessed. We are thinking about making this goal happen constantly. So now that we feel more confident, more driven, more committed, not only do we take more action, our actions have a certain level of confidence to them. We speak differently. We sit in our chair differently. We literally breathe differently. So now that we are taking more action and we are more consistent and decisive, are we going to get the result we are looking for? Maybe. There is a high increase in your probability. But get this, even if you don't at first get the result, then what do? You adjust your strategy. You try again. If you talk to a franchise and realize you don't like it, do you get discouraged and give up? No way. You were thinking, I'll just keep looking until I find the right one. And this is why your beliefs and your psychology, aka your mindset, will determine your outcome in this program. So let's dive into that. So here are some beliefs that I like to consciously write down and repeat to myself often whenever I feel like my mindset needs a reprogramming to help me reach a desired outcome. I act in spite of fear. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I do everything at 100%. I'm willing to do what's hard. I act in spite of my mood. I'm bigger than any obstacle. I succeed in spite of anything, and I never give up. I am resourceful. I always find a way. And I create my life. I create the exact amount of my financial success. I've had to repeat these to myself and write these down many times over the years. Now go ahead and write down your new upgraded belief that will support you through this process. Because the reality is, it's likely you'll say this to yourself at some point during the process. Is this really worth it? Should I really do this? I'll just wait another year. Maybe I should just get another job. I just got a raise. I'll just wait another 6 months. This is the third franchise I've talked to, and I don't like any of them. Your family life will get busy and crazy and pull your attention away, etc., etc., etc. So the question is, when either internal or external distractions pop up, what will you do? How will you respond? Look, our brain is designed to keep us safe. When things get scary or we're in unknown territory, we naturally want to retreat. Some of you have built habits of actually continuing on despite that. And some of you have a habit of retreating. So the first step is awareness. So when this happens, you go, aha, I can choose to continue moving forward and keep going despite how I feel, or despite what my brain is saying or doing to keep me safe. And here's a tool that will help you. Here's an example of a belief upgrade to repeat daily. I am 100% committed to finding the right franchise that I feel excited about, and that puts me in a strong position to reach my financial and personal goals. Nothing will stop me in this process, and I will keep making progress towards my commitment. I know that as long as I show up and do the work, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Now, I recommend you physically write this down or type it at least 5 times a day. Repeat it out loud. Even if you don't believe it at first, the more you read it and repeat it, the more your brain will start to believe it. Now, when we were opening our first franchise, we took $300,000 of equity out of our home, and my wife was terrified. She felt like my old pattern of getting excited about a new business and then not following through would just repeat itself. I was fighting my old beliefs. But I had a realization, and I really thought about it and actually said it to myself. I can do this, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure we don't fail. I get the chills when I say that because I had already resolved in my mind failure was not an option. Like, this was life or death in my mind, and I decided I was not going to just survive. I would figure out a way to thrive. I didn't know exactly how. That part came later. So that belief fueled me. It brought out a different part of me. So even when I was scared, tired, exhausted, frustrated, confused, and just feeling beat down about the process or an obstacle we came across, it was like a backup generator would kick on after the power went out. Boom, ready to keep moving forward. Failure wasn't an option. And guess what? I didn't fail. Quite the opposite, actually. So if I can get through all my limiting beliefs, doubts, and insecurities, you can too. And your family is counting on you. You have me, my team, and the Zero Franchise community behind you. So the next steps are, go ahead and write your 90-day letter. You're going to write a 90-day letter to yourself. You can find the link down below. You're going to go ahead and answer the prompts and the questions in that 90-day letter. Follow those instructions. This is big, huge. Write down your new belief upgrade and write it down 5 times a day. So you can use the one that I put in this program. That will be in the document as an example for you, or you can go ahead and write down your own. Make sure to watch my video on the fear of buying a franchise. And then next, watch phase 1, Getting Clear next. The next module is really exciting. It's your launching pad, and it's the foundation to help you narrow down the franchises you want in a really easy and simple way. I'll see you there. So now that you've watched the video and you now realize how your beliefs dictate all of your success or lack thereof, here's what happened right before my junior year of high school. So without knowing it, I shifted my belief system about my performance and my identity. For some of you who have heard about the law of attraction, this may sound familiar. Almost every night that summer going into my junior year, I would lay in bed before I went to sleep, and I would visualize myself winning tournaments. I would imagine that when they would roll up all the other wrestling mats before they did the finals, and they would do the special introductions for the people that made it to the finals of the tournament, and I would see and feel the ref raising my hand and the crowd cheering in excitement. I would mentally rehearse hitting cool moves on my opponent and dominating them. I did this night after night. It felt so real. I mean, my heart would be racing, my hands would be sweating. It felt like reality. Science would later on go and prove that your body does not know the difference between what you imagine and what you actually do. So I also wrestled 106 matches in the offseason and got 2 seasons worth of failure, getting my butt kicked out of the way. So many people trying to avoid failure in business, not realizing that failure is part of your journey of success. So after 15 years now of reading countless books from successful entrepreneurs and leaders in peak performance and investing over $100,000 in coaching, seminars, and programs over the last 15 years, I learned that visualization is the key secret that precedes any behavioral or outward change that you want to experience in your life. And in my financial services career, I went on to utilize this principle of visualization to win awards, promotions, and be featured as a top rising financial advisor in the entire country under the age of 30, all while having no college degree and typically being far from the smartest person in the room. I remember I was 21, 22 years old, leading trainings of branch managers and assistant branch managers in banking that have been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years. I was 22 years old. I used to visualize myself speaking. I had always wanted to be a speaker. And I used it to go from shooting 120 in golf to a 79 in our club championship. I used it to turn my annual income of $35,000 a year when I got my first job in banking at 20 years old to making over $35,000 a month, and even months making over $70,000. These were all things that I specifically got clear on, and I practiced mentally, rehearsing and seeing the result I wanted in my mind over and over and over again. These results were not accidental. So, if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur, whether as a franchise owner or not, the foundation is simple. Develop a clear image of exactly what success looks, feels, and sounds like. And spend a focused 3 to 5 minutes every single day visualizing, feeling, hearing what success is like over and over and over again. Then go and take massive action and fail forward. I lost way more matches in wrestling before I started winning. I had many businesses fail before I had my first success. I shot over 100 many times in golf before I shot a 79. So if you implement this, like your life and success depends on it, because it does, then you inevitably will find the success that you were looking for. I wish you the most success in your journey. And if owning a franchise is something that you want to do, if this is a part of your vision, then please go to buyaprofitablefranchise.com, where you can get access to a free masterclass on exactly how you can do that. I hope you have an amazing day.